Hey guys, today I wanna go over 3 different items you can roll on League Start to make a ton of currency in the first few days. This can even go up to grinding out a mage blood if you really do it a lot. Since there are gonna be a few meta shifts in the market, I will try to make an update video a few days into the league on this too. The 3 things we are gonna be looking at today are Viridian Jewels, Ghastly Jewels and Flasks. Now starting with my personal favorite, and that is gonna be Viridian Jewels. Now compared to the other 2 jewels, these are so good because Life Reforge on average hits 41% of the time increased maximum life. On the other 2, that would only be around 24%. And the second big reason is that any item level works for this because there are no mod tiers. You can pick them up in the campaign or buy them for 1 alchemy orb. Search for lower item level and rarity ones to reduce the gold fee. For Life Reforge we're gonna need 75 red life force. In the first days or even weeks this should be around 10k per divine, so not really much. Now let's move on to the 2 mod combinations together with life that are worth selling on their own. As basically every league and especially this league, because I think RF is gonna be played at least as much, if not more, is gonna be +2 maximum fire resistance and fire dot multiplier. For the resistance, always switch lightning and cold to fire with the harvest craft, and you can also do this to reroll the +1 to +2. Usually blue life force, so lightning resistance should be the cheaper one to do this with. In A tier I'm putting crit multi with elemental skills, together with all the 3 dot multis, chaos, Phys and cold. Chaos was already good before, and Phys and cold got massive buffs in the patch notes. Apart from those, normal dot multiplier should also be decent, and also crit multi with cold skills, because Winter Orb is gonna be meta. Now I think less people are gonna play mines this league, so mine throwing speed should be a bit less I think, but I think still worth something. B tier for me on its own is gonna be chaos resistance, global crit multiplier, crit multi with lightning skills. For maximum mana I'm not too sure where this is gonna land, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be less mana stackers this league, so I put it down here. Then also attack damage leached as mana, this usually falls off very fast. Crit multi with 2-handed weapons, crit multi with fire skills, mana reservation and maybe dexterity too. Very important for all of those, always exalt them for a 3rd or 4th mod. Exalts are much more common now and not worth much, which is awesome. Also in pricing those, it can be worth using the exact values, because first of all the market is very big, a lot of them are listed, and second of all there's a huge difference between 1 or 2 maximum resistance, or sometimes 5 to 7 life in price. In combination or as 3rd mods, extra block with shield, ailments to damage faster, those 2 might even be worth something on their own. Crit multiply dual reading, with 1-handed weapons too maybe, attack speed, attributes, resistance, increased damage of different types, or maybe even cast speed. All those things can maybe be worth something as 3rd mods, or in combination, for example with 2 different sources of attack speed. Now Cobalt Jewels also have some good mods for Life Reforge, mostly minion damage and crit multi for spell damage, and maybe also increased spell damage, but again the problem with these is that they are much less likely to hit life on Life Reforge, so they are not as good early on, but maybe better later on, with some better modifiers in the pool. Now let's move on to the second thing you can roll, and that is gonna be Ghastly Jewels. Now minions didn't really get many changes, and really at most some of them got buffed even, so this is still gonna be great in value. But there might be one issue, since Ghastly Jewels are now Abyss and Delph exclusive, they might be much more expensive to buy as a base depending on how good Abyss will be. Now there are at least 3 ways you can do this with. Either you could use Aberrant Fossils, Chaos Reforge or Phys Reforge them. On day 2 to 4 those fossils will be around 5 chaos a click, compared to 1 chaos for Chaos Reforge and half a chaos for Phys Reforge. If yellow juice is around 10k for divine. Now this of course changes as the league goes on, because yellow life force will become really expensive, and fossils are better in terms of average outcome too, but are of course horrible quality of life to use. Now a second problem here is that Abyss Jewels have tiered rolls, unlike the base Jewels, so the item level matters a lot. For Chaos Reforge you ideally use item level 84 for the tier 1 chaos damage and 83 for Phys Reforge. Phys Reforge is half as expensive, only taking 50 yellow life force, but it might take a bit longer to hit something very good. And the same thing here, always use an Exalt if you have at least 1 good mod. Now at least last league there were two different jewels to target here, poison and physical damage. And for the first one and my favorite, you would of course use Chaos Reforge and look for minions have chance to poison on hit and minions deal additional chaos damage. On Chaos Reforge, chance to poison on hit has an 8% chance to hit and at least tier 3 chaos damage 24%. Now something that's as good here is minions deal additional physical damage, which on its own can already be worth a bit. Then also minions have increased attack speed can work here. And minions deal increased damage if you used the minion skill recently. Other things that might increase the value are withered enemies have -2% all resistances, minion movement speed, this got buffed too, and at least last league, maimed enemies take increased damage over time. Any 2 good rolls together are usually 40 chaos or more, and decent free mods can easily go into divines. Now for Phys Reforge you of course target minions deal additional physical damage. As of Mirage this had 24% for tier 3 to hit, but this will likely be more on 3.29 because the 2 Phys damage reduction rolls get removed. Now the things you wanna hit with this is minions deal increased damage if you used the minion skill recently, and very important, minions have increased attack speed. Now instead you could also use Attack Reforge, which will then give you a 22% chance to hit this one, because otherwise it only has a rating of 3%, but if you decide to do this, then at least tier 3 physical damage would have a rating of even less than 3%. And of course, if you hit it by accident, minions have a chance to poison on hit and minions deal additional chaos damage are of course great too. The problem with this one is that you don't have a rare suffix modifier in the pool, like chance to poison on hit. And some generic modifiers that can be good for both are maximum life, cast speed, chaos resistance, and maybe minions have a chance to taunt or blind enemies too. There are of course also gonna be minion builds that use other flat added damage types, but they are usually not worth selling. Before I move to the last one, you can also easily check the popularity of different mods on Poeninja. I am just gonna go to day 3 Mirage here and click on Rare Jewels on the left. Here you can select Viridian Jewels or Ghastly Jewels, and then it will simply show you the most common modifiers below to get an idea of the meta and what mods to look for. It is also very useful for cluster jewels. This is not gonna be a one-to-one representation of their price. Now this works for selecting magic flasks up here too, and then it will show you the most used flask types and mods. And this leads me to the third item you can roll for early profit, which is gonna be flasks. Of course you're gonna roll them with alterations, and you can also use a Foulbone Orb of Augmentation if they are cheap, on open explicits with another good mod. If you wanna roll multiple of them at once, you can also create a regex on PoE.re. And once you arrived here, you can easily select the prefixes you want on the left and the suffixes you're looking for on the right. Now there are some item level breakpoints that are important here. The only difference between item level 85 and 84 is gonna be T1 movement speed. Apart from that, at item level 80 you gain a few undesirable mods, but also T1 gain charge on crit and T1 gain charges when hit by an enemy. Other than that, item level 68 will be fine too. This will basically have all the important tier 2 mods. The most common and best utility flasks you can roll are Quicksilver, Diamond, Silver, Granite and Jade, and depending on the meta, maybe Quartz and the resistance ones too. For the prefixes you want gain charges when hit, increased duration, chance to gain a charge on crit, maybe this one is even better than duration, charge recovery, reduced charges per use, and maximum charges. For the suffixes you want movement speed, crit chance, armor, evasion, reduced effect of curses, and you can also craft regenerate 3% of life per second. Ideally you of course want to match them, so movement speed on Quicksilver, crit chance on Diamond, and so on. On something like Silver, reduced effect of curses or other mods might fit better. This is optional, but you can also use an Instilling Orb to craft used when charges reach full. Later on in the league, when more people start having Mage Bloods, on these ones you also want to use an Enkindling Orb for up to 70% increased effect. You can also do this on Life Flasks, always use Divine ones, and ideally at least item level 81 or even better 82. Aim for any form of instant recovery plus corrupted blood immunity. Alternatively, you can also aim for the highest life recovered number for P-Conk builds. For price checking in general, I would recommend using Awaken PoE Trade. Try to price items always at or below the lowest listings, unless there's a big outlier. If you want to sell them fast, you can adjust the prices every 4 hours or so by about 20%. If this was helpful, leave a like, subscribe, or even become a channel member if you want to support the channel. I will put important links and a TLDR in the description too. These mods are all what I think is gonna be worth something, so there might or will definitely be some slight changes to this. Viridian Jewels are the ones you can start crafting right away. The same with Flasks, ideally item level 68, and minion jewels are gonna be a bit more expensive at high item levels, so that's rather something for day 3 onwards. Let me know what you usually craft early on in the comments, and if I missed any good mods, and I will see you in the next video.